What's going on, everyone? So we're halfway through the year, and obviously the next generation iPhone and Apple Watch is coming out in a couple of months. And so in today's video, we're going to go ahead and just talk about and round up everything we know so far about the next generation and why you might be better off holding off if you're planning on upgrade or purchasing an Apple Watch for the first time for yourself or a gift for somebody. Because there's the possibility of 3 new Apple Watches coming out. The next generation version of the Apple Watch SE is rumored to come out, the Series 8, of course, and a new rugged design Apple Watch, which we're going to go ahead and name and just call it the Apple Watch Pro. That's the one with the edge rectangular shape that we've been seeing leaked all over the internet. So we're going to go ahead and cover all that and more because a lot of leaks came out and rumors came out recently in the last few hours. So let's go ahead and get started. So let's go ahead and just start off with the Series 8 Apple Watch. Yes, it's going to go ahead and come out. Will we be receiving a lot of impressive upgrades? Unfortunately not. According to this new article that came out from Forbes, Mark Gurman, a famous, well-known Apple leaker for its accuracy, stated that the Apple Watch will be powered by what will be called the S8 chip. Now, this is the bad news right here. It's going to be the same chip that's found on the current S7, so the Series 7. So the Series 7 has a S7 chip. It's going to be relabeled into the S8 chip. So we're going to go ahead and see this very similar thing what we experienced when we first got the Series 7, the Series 6, and then the Apple Watch SE, because the Apple Watch SE is actually sharing a previous chipset, the S5, and the Series 6 had that S5 inside it. It's really confusing, but we're gonna go ahead and possibly see this processor, this chipset in the Series 7 in the Series 8. But there is some good news because the Series 8 is going to receive some type of low power mode. Now, this may be a hardware feature because it's not going to be software based, according to more articles, like this one from 9to5Mac, also featuring Mark Gurman, stating that the low power mode will be exclusive to the Series 8. So again, this is making me believe that it's going to be like a processor innovated with the S8 chip, which is probably the reason why they're able to get away with relabeling the previous processor with the S7 to an S8, all because it has that low power hardware chip integration to that chipset. It sounds confusing, but I guess that's what's going to go ahead and happen, especially if it's exclusive to the Series 8. Now, low power mode is something that's already available on the Apple Watch. You just simply go into control center, go into battery life percentage. You can actually go into power reserve mode right here, and when you enable this, basically it just turns your Apple Watch into an actual watch. This will allow the Apple Watch to not only last several days instead of one day if you're lucky, but it will actually dummy down your Apple Watch and just make it into a traditional watch, because all you'll be able to do is just look at the clock. That's it. You lose all its other important functions like heart rate monitoring, step tracking, and all that stuff, even access to third-party apps, everything. It just turns your device into a watch. Now with this new version of low power mode, this may be something what we've seen with smartphones nowadays, especially on the Android side, where when you enable low power mode, you still have access to certain apps and you have a different display that doesn't use up that much battery power. We're probably going to go ahead and see that, something very similar to that with the Series 8. Now, look-wise, not much is going to change from the Series 7 to the 8. It's still going to continue to have the same screen size options, so the 41 as well as the 45 millimeter version. This is the 45, both of these are. May we'll see some additional colors, but there is this report of a new rugged version Apple Watch, which is said to be the sharper edge version that we've been seeing leaks and stuff. This is supposed to be more durable. Not sure if the material is going to be more rugged, like plastic-like material, or keep it aluminum or stainless steel, depending on the version of Apple Watch that you have. But it's said to be extremely durable. But honestly, this is my personal Series 7. It's said to be the toughest Apple Watch, but if we turn off the display, you can still see micro scratches here and there. So no matter what clever marketing scheme or naming that Apple use, saying that this Apple Watch is stronger than the previous generation. At the end of the day, honestly, it still is glass. It's gonna scratch up and such. Even more expensive premium Apple Watches are still prone to get scratched and stuff like that. So I don't know, just something I wanted to quickly just say. Now going into the Apple Watch SE, I'm sorry. So the SE 2 is rumored to be coming out alongside the Series 8, as well as the rugged Apple Watch. So this is what I'm saying. We're possibly going to go ahead and see 3 new Apple Watches. Now the SE2, unfortunately, it's going to have the same S8 chip that's found on the Series 8. But again, it's just a repackaged, relabeled, older processor. And it's not going to have a lot of its exclusive stuff like the low power reserve mode. And the always on display hardware is going to be exclusive to the Series 8 as well as the rugged version Apple Watch if we're lucky. So in actuality, not much is really going to change from the SE2. Maybe we'll just see the new screen design on the SE2, but that still is a possibility. It's an if. There's no confirmation or anything like that proving that that will happen. So I guess the SE may continue the same design. So in theory and on paper, it's not much of an upgrade. And then recently, Mark on Twitter announced that we won't really see a massive overall chipset improvement until the next generation, the Series 9. So right now, we're just going to continue seeing these relabeled previous generation S7, S8 chipsets. In other words, if this is true, I do not recommend upgrading from the Series 7 to the 8 unless you're still on a much older Apple Watch. The Series 3 is an example. I do not recommend purchasing this Apple Watch because no longer will continue to receive support from Apple, as watchOS 9 is not supported on the Series 3, and this is the year that we're actually going to see the Series 3 finally become discontinued. So RIP to the smartwatch that got released back in 2017. I'm surprised you made it this far. Now, in terms of new sensors getting added, supposedly we're going to go ahead and see a glucose blood sugar monitoring sensor found on possibly the Series 8 and the rugged version Apple Watch. This was also reported earlier this year from Mark Gurman, but there's not really a lot of information coming out of this. Something tells me this may not happen. Because remember, a couple of years ago, even last year, even for the Series 7 Apple Watch, this one, we were supposed to receive a Touch ID sensor. That hasn't yet happened. I'm pretty sure it's in the works, but I don't think we're going to go ahead and see it in this generation or anytime soon. Probably until the Series 10 if we're lucky. And then the same can apply on the new body temperature monitoring. Bloomberg was the first to report this last year and will be used to help with fertility planning. But aside from that, there's not really a lot of information coming out of this either. So this is something that's probably in the works and somebody leaked out somewhere. But we won't see these features get added until future generations. So like again, like the Series 10, that's when we'll finally see something cool get added like that. But aside from that, pricing, again, it's going to continue the same price tag that the brand new Series 7 will cost for the Series 8. Everything will just carry over. No surprise there. And then release date, obviously sometime in the fall. So sometime around the September timeframe. So September we should see the unveil. October it's going to be when it's become available. Same goes for the iPhone. No surprise, no change there. Apple been keeping it consistent in terms of their release dates for the Apple Watch and the iPhone. But aside from that, yeah, there you guys have it. I would honestly suggest just waiting a few months if you're planning on purchasing a new Apple Watch. We're already halfway through the year to really find out officially what Apple has in store in terms of the next generation Apple Watches, if it's even worth considering upgrading or not. Anyways, I guess that's going to be it. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please leave this video a like. Those will help me out a lot. And get subscribed, especially if you enjoy a lot of tech videos just like this. If you're curious how watchOS 9 has been like, I actually go ahead and cover everything there is to know about the next generation of watchOS, which is watchOS 9. So check out that video if you'd like to learn all the hidden features and new changes that Apple integrated. And then the video next to that one, that's just a video YouTube is recommending specifically for you. Thanks so much for watching. Take care, and I'll catch you all in the next one. See ya.